wash out the rest of it. You could hear it, but wow, fuck off. Really, fuck you.
Use the approved poses if you wanna be a memer. Peace sign, bunny ears, fake wiener.
How the hell are ya, filthy fucking heathens? Galactic Criminal here. So this band, Despite Exile, was recommended to me in the comment section under the video I did for Abiogenesis, a band of which by the end of their song Visualize, I came to realize that they're the best fucking band I ever heard of, only to find out they only ever released one song and that is not acceptable. But I digress. The fella that suggested I check this group out said there's a couple of members from Abiogenesis in this group, so let's go ahead and check them out. Despite Exile, Absent Foundation with a 1, 2, Wow. That was pretty fucking awesome. That was pretty awesome. I gotta tell you, man, a lot of times I see in the comments section someone will say, if you like this band, then you like that band. And for the most part, I don't generally go for that, especially right away. I don't want to hear another band that sounds exactly like the one I just listened to. I want to change it up and maybe come back to that later. And after seeing that comment, the guy said, if you like Abiogenesis, you'll like this group. And there's a couple of members of Abiogenesis in it. I was definitely intrigued, and I plan to check it out at some point, and I'm glad I got around to it because it's awesome. Now, doing a little bit of research here, from what I can find, there's only one member from Abiogenesis in this group, one of the guitarists, and that doesn't really fucking matter, man, because this ended up being awesome. The fact that when I kind of checked them out a little bit beforehand, saying that it said death metal / black metal, that's not what I got here. I got like progressive death metal or progressive deathcore out of this, just like Abiogenesis was. Now, not as proggy as Abio was, but absolutely tons of elements of that in here. So now rolling into the top of this song, starting off with like a blast beat, it's like, okay, that actually sounds pretty good in the mix. It's not taking over the whole song. I'm hoping it doesn't play through the entire song, because I think if it's used well, it can be very powerful. But if it's used too much, it feels a little gaudy to me, especially if you have more like technical riffs and stuff like that. They all kind of tend to wash each other out. And the fact that they did break away from that at a point, and the drums started to slow down, but while keeping the pace of the song kind of up at the same time, absolutely appreciate that. Now, I guess to kind of compare again with Abiogenesis, their more technical style riffs were more of the forefront of their song, kind of leading the melody of the track, whereas this one was more the vocal leading the melody of the track, and the vocal was the good one. I don't really like when the deathcore does, I like the deep growl and like the fucking, the art is murder and stuff like that, but I like when they break it up. It actually sounds like they're saying fucking words. When they start fucking rolling that deep grunt, it's like, what is that, man? Fucking get a fucking rhythm. Staccato those words a little bit. Make me feel like you're actually saying something rather than being like every other group, just go. I can't even do it. Also mixing up the pitch of the scream to change it up, doing the highers, doing the mids, doing the lowers, and everything pretty much in between. But I also kind of feel like the music and the vocals themselves kind of matched and weren't really like jumping around too much. They weren't completely flat-chested. There were some bumps here and there. But I kind of wish that there had been a little bit more ups and downs in the melody. That being said, there were a lot of really cool fucking moments in here, man, especially with that fucking scream, dude, doing a couple of holds here and there. Did like a really, really deep one to start off, just those always feel really powerful to me, and like leading into a progression or out of one with one of those is always pretty cool. There were a couple of others with like the higher pitch, man, but the one that stood out the most, dude, it was like within the last like 30 seconds there, just it just fucking blew me back, dude, with all just like the adrenaline that was kind of building throughout this track, because there was a lot of really, really heavy rhythm and shit like that to this that kind of built that and kept that fucking adrenaline up, and then just hitting that fucking scream at the end, just like, Argh! And of course, I can't forget to mention the drumming. Absolutely fantastic on this track. A lot of really cool choices were made here, man. Starting off with that fucking blast beat, dude. I'm hoping, okay, that's really cool, but I hope they change it up a little bit. Exactly what they did, man. Keeping a more medium pace with the drums, but also making it like bassy and heavy, and the rest of the track, keeping up the fucking speed, the pace of it, man. Fucking solid, absolutely solid. Solid drum fills, dude, especially in the second half of this track. Some cool rolls and shit in there. I liked it. Now, with that said, I will say for this mix, or at least how I was hearing it through YouTube, that I wish something had been pulled back a little bit. Either the drums pulled back or the guitar and bass pulled back. I feel like they were occupying too much of the same space for the entire track. That's not saying it's a deal breaker, that it ruins the song. It is just my opinion. But yeah, overall, fucking solid track. I'm absolutely gonna have to look a little more into these guys, seeing as how Abiogenesis only has one song. This will have to satiate me until they, I'm hoping, come up with an entire album. So hey, what did you think of this fucking track? Are there any other prog-style deathcore bands that I should be checking out? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, there will be a link in the description for this video so you can go ahead and watch it for yourself. Full screen, full audio, and get the full experience. And as always, have yourself a fantastic evening.